Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Welcome to Trip Tales, Kelsey Unpacked, where we go a little deeper into all things travel and life. From my trip planning process to favorite travel gear, vacation style, mindset, and everything in between. Buckle up. It's time to unpack some stuff. Hey everyone, welcome to the very first Kelsey Unpacked episode. I teased this a little bit on Instagram and in some of my previous episodes, but if you missed it, surprise, I am launching a new series here in 2026 called Kelsey Unpacked, where each week I will unpack a topic that is travel adjacent and just go a little bit deeper. I have a long list of ideas, including an episode about what travel we already have booked for 2026, an episode that I'm really excited about called Skincare in the Air. You may have remembered that on some of our super early morning trips, my daughter and I will just pack all our skincare and makeup so that we don't have to waste time in the morning getting ready before heading to the airport. And then we do our skincare and our makeup in the air. It's so fun, and I will be sharing all my favorite skincare and makeup products. Another upcoming episode will be about airplane entertainment, and we will dive into all the books, movies, and other podcasts I'm loving, and so much more. But today, on this very first episode, I'm going to be sharing my word for 2026. Do any of you do this? I don't really make resolutions, but for 4 years, I have picked a word or a phrase to focus on the entire year. And it has really informed my year, and I truly think it helps me align my decisions and plans to move more toward that end goal and achieve the word by the end of the year. So I'll give a little background. 4 years ago, I started this with the words happy and calm. 4 years ago, I feel like I had lost my happy and calm. Now, 4 years ago, my kids were younger. At the time, I would have had an 4-year-old, 6-year-old, and 9-year-old. Now they're all 4 years older. So the kid part I was in a little bit harder of a kid phase. But also, I had decided to take on social media clients back in the day. Since I kind of know how to do social media, I figured, I can help other small businesses do this. And I really liked it, and I honestly was good at it, I think. But running social media for yourself or for another company is legitimately a full-time job that never sleeps. You're constantly getting texts, hey, can you post this? Can you post that? If it's an actual location and there's a snow day, hey, can you post our snow day hours? It's kind of just like a reactive, nonstop job. And I remember when it really hit me was when I was on my 40th birthday trip with my favorite girlfriends, and I was getting blown up with texts to post about a doctor's office at the time, and I was having to separate myself from my friends at the all-inclusive who were eating lunch to post about this doctor's office back in Franklin, Tennessee, and I was like, this isn't working for me anymore. The hard part is that it makes pretty good money. People are desperate for someone else to handle their social media, and so it's tempting to do because when you get 4 or 5 clients, you can charge like $1,000 a month, if not more, and you're making really good money. So I was making good money, but I was not happy and calm. So the first year I did this, I wrote the word in my notes app, happy and calm, and I tried to make all my decisions move towards happy and calm. This phrase actually lasted for 2 years because after 1 full year, I felt like I still hadn't achieved it. So I did it for 2 years in a row. And I do believe I finally achieved what I felt in my body was happy and calm. And I did this by offloading all the social media clients. It was a bummer, but it was just time. Not to mention all the back-end stuff when like your Facebook Meta account is connected to all these small businesses. I got notifications times 6 businesses all the time. Like it was chaotic. So over the course of 2 years, I offloaded all social media clients. Another thing my husband and I did, which I will do an entire other episode about this, but we really looked at how our household was being run and who was picking up too many of the invisible tasks. A lot of females that are listening will feel this. There's a lot of invisible tasks that go on that just take up so much time and mind share for you, from RSVPing to birthday parties, buying the birthday party gift, getting kids to the birthday parties, planning your own kids' birthday parties, meal planning, grocery shopping, laundry, anticipating all the school stuff, all the school schedules, keeping up with absences, being the one that's home when a kid is sick. I mean, I could go on. And like I said, this will be an entirely different episode coming up. But I heard about the book Fair Play, Fair, Fair Play. There's also a lot of podcasts out there about it. The author's name is Eva. And I listened to a couple podcasts with her in it. Then I read the full book, and I didn't even tell my husband about this at the time. And then I gently brought it up to him as something I wanted him to either read or at least listen to my explanation of it. And with Fair Play, there is a card game. You can buy the card game on Amazon. You can also just print it at home if you don't want to pay for it, but it's a lot of cards. And to make a really long story short, and I'll make this another episode, you basically get this deck of cards and you play this with your partner and you divvy up who handles most of this task. So maybe it's bedtime routine, bath times, dinner prep, grocery shopping, breakfast, morning routines, pets, aging parents, laundry. I mean, there's so many cards. There's even like something called magical beings, like a being, like an BEING, and that means tooth fairy and Santa Claus and all the things, like who is making all that happen. And so once you play the game, you see where the deck is, typically highly offloaded onto one person. And that's okay. The great thing about this book and the game is that it can be different for every family. In some families, there's a stay-at-home dad, and he's going to pick up a lot more of these cards. In some families, there are 2 full-time working parents out of the house, and those cards need to be more 50-50. So every family is different. And in our situation, I am comfortable at like 70-30. Like I can handle a lot of the household and the kid stuff because I work from home, I do my own thing, but I still want time to invest into my travel content creation on social media and my podcast. And I just didn't have enough time to do that kind of stuff. So we played the game Fair Play, and it really isn't like about you do this, I do that. Like it really just takes the resentment out of things and makes a clear plan for your household. So it's almost like your house starts to run like a business as opposed to who's going to load the dishwasher and resenting and slamming dishes in at the end of the night because you're mad. It's just like, oh, that's not my task, so I'm not even going to do it. I'm going to free up my time by going to switch over the laundry because I don't need to touch a dish. So again, we'll do a full episode on that. Maybe I'll have my husband join that one because that could be kind of fun. But that was a big part of me regaining my happy and calm, was clarity around my true roles and responsibilities in the house and things that my husband was going to pick up, so that I didn't feel like I had to carry all those balls. 2 other things that have really helped me over the 2 years of trying to find happy and calm were literally the Calm app. You guys have probably heard about this by now, but there's an app called Calm, and you do have to pay a subscription fee for it, but I think it is so worth it. My favorite thing about the Calm app is their dailies. So every morning there are 4 or 5 new dailies, and they are less than 10 minutes. One of them is like 1 minute, but there's 4 different people. Jay Shetty does one. I love him. There's 4 people that do a daily calm, and it is just like a quiet meditation, reset your mind, where they walk you through something. The reason I love Jay Shetty's is because they're typically connected to work or business or achievement. So his topics are very grounding and centering, but they also line up with career and building something. And so I'm not saying I do this every day. I wish I did. But when I have time and when I remember, I try to do one of the dailies just to like get my mind right, get centered. And that has definitely provided a lot of calm. And then the last one is a strong gratitude practice. Again, I wish I did this more, but within the Calm app, I took a gratitude class. It was like 10 episodes you just listen to like an audiobook or a podcast. I think it was Tamara Levitt maybe is the one who taught it, but has a lot of content in the Calm app. And she recommends writing 10 things you're grateful for every day. I used to do 3, and she's like, try not to always do the same ones because it's so easy to be like health, family, my husband, food, blah, 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 blah. And those things are fine. Definitely, like from time to time, I do write those things down. But being a little bit more specific and relevant to your day can help a ton. So sometimes I'll write down, I'm so thankful for my house cleaners. And it really shifts your attitude from, oh my gosh, I have to pick up this house. This takes me a whole hour. Why does nobody else put their toothbrushes away in the drawers? I'm running around picking up every tiny thing, and it can be a little chaotic and can take like a whole hour. Even when my house is like picked up, if you do this, it takes an extra hour just to like actually clear all the clutter, all the random papers and bills and treasure box toys that kids are getting at school and birthday parties. But when I've written down my gratitude list, my mindset shifts from, oh my gosh, this is so much work, to I am so grateful that these people are coming today to help me clean my house so that I don't have to today. Sometimes I'll write down how curious and inquisitive my kids are. And that really shifts my mindset after school when there is nonstop questions and nonstop chatter. And I do really love it, but it helps stretch that patience a little longer from okay, I'm just reacting to these kids' questions and conversation to I'm so grateful I have curious and inquisitive kids. So anyways, a strong gratitude practice. I do have the daily, my daily planner. I'm going to link it again in the show notes. I've talked about it on Instagram before. It's so simple. It's from Amazon. It's like under $10. I've bought it 4 or 5 times now. I just keep buying it again. The thing I love about this planner is I can write down my daily to-do list. There's also like an hour by hour list if I actually have like a podcast recording at 10 a.m. At the top, there's a gratitude box. So I will just do my 10 gratitude things in there. I don't need a journal that I can reference back in the future. That's like not something that's super important to me. It's more about that daily habit that just helps my mind that day. And the other thing I love about this planner is there's no dates in it. So if I'm on vacation for a week and I'm not using my daily planner, I save 7 pages. And then when I get home, I just pick up where I left off. So I'm going to link that in the show notes. It's the easiest planner in the world. I should actually post that on Instagram today since we are in January. I'm sure everybody is going to be needing a new planner.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now. You call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Okay, so that's enough about the first 2 years I did this. Last year, 2025, I also did 2 words. It was proud and prosperous. I felt like I'd achieved my happy and calm. I'd started the podcast. I was getting it off the ground, and I decided I just want to be really proud of the product I put out there. I want to be proud of the episodes. I want to be proud of any reel or travel information I share on social media. I want to give it my all. And also with the prosperous part, I want to start making money from it. This is so fun. And I did do it for almost a year or 2 without making much money at all, but I'm putting a lot of time and energy into it. And the podcast is growing and the social media is growing. And so I want to monetize it as well. So that was the prosperous side. And I did monetize it a bit. I'll actually get into that when we talk about the 2025 goals and if I achieved them. And I would like to be making more monetary value, but that will come. And the fact that I'm even making some money from it now makes me really happy. This will probably be another entirely separate episode in case anybody out there is interested in podcasting or content creation and how you can monetize it. I might do a whole separate Kelsey Unpacked episode about that. But so that was 2025, proud and prosperous. And usually I make some goals that line up with my word or words. So to keep track of my word and my goals, I add them to my notes app. I create a note. At the top has the word or words for the year in big and bold. So last year it said proud and prosperous in big, bold letters, and I usually add some emojis that make me happy. Then under the word, I add the little check boxes that you can tick off once you achieve the item. I love ticking off a checkbox. And I do check into this notes app on my phone at least weekly, if not more. And it feels so good to kind of check in, make sure I'm still moving towards my words and my goals, and tick one off every once in a while. So I'm going to share what was in my 2025 note, and then we'll get into 2026. Okay, so I'm looking at it right now. In bold, it says proud and prosperous at the top, 2025. I do have the little stars emojis, those 3 stars flanking each side, because that felt magical, proud, and prosperous. I had 5 little tick box goals, and if I don't perfectly achieve them, that's okay. This is just for me. And sometimes it's funny, my husband will say, it needs to be a little bit more tactical, like you need numbers around it. And I'm like, well, I don't. Like one of his goals was to run 500 miles. He needs like a true number, which I know the SMART goal thing, make it achievable, put like a number around it. I can't remember what SMART stands for, but I think everybody just needs to goal set for themselves and what works well in your brain. Like my husband and I make a great team, but we're very different people. I'm more the creative and the visionary, and he's much more analytical. But my first goal was very clear. It was to make $5,000 from the podcast or the travel channels, like my social media. And I will tell you, I probably made between like 4,500 to 4,900. I know people say you're not supposed to talk about money, but ever since I was in my advertising career back in the day, I felt like the people that were really clear about the money they made or the bonuses, it was just so refreshing to not have it be so hush hush and know what you should be striving for and what other people are making. So for whatever it's worth, I'm a very open book, probably to a fault. And I'm probably going to say some stuff on this Kelsey Unpacked that's either going to ruffle some feathers or make people have some sort of opinion about me. But unfortunately, I just don't really care what other people think about me. So here we go. So I came so close to making $5,000. I literally made between $4,500 and $4,900. I haven't done my December money. That's not that much when you think about a salary for a job and how many hours I'm putting into this, but it does help fund travel. It helps fund some new outfits that I might want to buy. So it is money coming in, and I do think I can maybe double that in the next year. But you got to start somewhere, right? So making $5,000 from the podcast was goal number 1 for 2025, and I came so close. When we talk about these as a family, we do this, the whole family of 5 sits down and talks about our goals from the year before, if we achieve them, and we make new ones, and we talk about money and all that stuff in front of the kids. And for that one, I did say the phrase to my kids, if you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll still land in the stars. And they were like, okay. I feel like we all had that on a poster in our rooms in the 80s and 90s. Okay, moving on. My second goal was to read and listen to 5 books. This kind of was coming out of my happy and calm era. I had lost time and energy to read books and listen to Audible books and stuff. So I was like, just read 5. Well, I blew this goal out of the water, and let me count. I read or listened to, I count them both, 15 books in 2025. It was probably closer to 16 or 17, but sometimes if I just really am not feeling a book and I'm over halfway through, I'm like, I'm just not wasting any more time on this. I don't force myself to finish it. So let's say 15 though. Read 15 books. I was so proud of that. It's just like such a fun escape and a way to really like be still and do something enjoyable for myself. I'll name a few of my favorites. And again, I'm going to do a separate episode about this. But while we're talking about it, I loved The Wedding People. I absolutely was obsessed with The Alchemist. This has been around for a while. I don't know how I missed it, but I could listen to it again. It's actually like, it's like kind of a tale, like a fantastical tale about following your dreams and finding your true life purpose, about like a farmer boy from Spain. It's kind of random, but also, I mean, most of you are like, yeah, duh, this has been around forever. But I just finally made the time to listen to it. And oh my gosh, it just like invigorated me in 2025. I loved Awake by Jen Hatmaker, about her life post-divorce and kind of rebuilding her life 2.0. And then I loved listening to Broken Country. It is sad and a little painful, but it's about a family's life in the countryside of England. And it is fantastic. It's great to listen to because they've got the British accents, and it'll make laundry folding go by much quicker if you listen to Broken Country. Okay, that's it for now. Another goal of mine was to meditate, pray, or practice gratitude at least once a week. Again, I wish I did this daily, but once a week for me, if not more, is a great goal. And I did check that box because I feel like I did achieve that this year, whether it was using the Calm app, actually praying, or practicing my gratitude in my daily planner. Another goal was to go to HOTWORX once a week or more, which I definitely did. I'm obsessed with HOTWORX. I will talk about that on a future episode about getting a vacation-ready body. But HOTWORX are those sauna workouts where you go into a sauna by yourself. There's a screen with a workout. It is like my happiest place in the world right now. So check the box on that one. And my last goal for 2025 was to go to a podcasting or travel conference, which I did. I learned a ton there. It was so motivating and invigorating to be around people that were doing the same thing and sit in their houses by themselves and talk into microphones, because it can be a very isolating industry. But I attended Podcast Movement in Dallas, Texas, all by myself, didn't know a soul. And I was really proud of myself for showing up and just learning and meeting people and just kind of navigating that conference by myself. Okay, so that was 2025. Let's move on to 2026.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now. You call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
The way I come up with my word or phrase is just the last couple weeks or few weeks of the year, I really start thinking about just what the word should be. And sometimes some will come in my brain and I'll just let them sit and they'll come and go until one is just like very clear. And it really truly just comes to me. It's not some clear aha moment. It's just like over the course of 2 to 3 weeks, I really try to, like when I'm in the shower, when I have like quiet time to myself, I try to think about what is important to me for the next year. And the word that kept coming to me over and over again throughout the month of December was strong. And I'll start with, I do think a strong body is where this originated from. And all my girls in their 40s and guys that are listening to this, like as active as you are and as much as you love to like take walks and ski or water ski or be active with your kids, your body just changes in your 40s and there is nothing you can do about it. That is just time and age ticking away. But there are things we can do to maintain a very strong body, and that is important to me right now. So I want to focus on weightlifting this year. I don't focus on that enough, and I know I can. I actually already did my first weightlifting workout of 2026, and my arms are so sore they feel like spaghetti noodles. But just in our guest room, we have a Peloton tread and we have free weights, 5 pounds up to 20, 25 pounds. that is plenty for me to bust out a weights workout. Also at HOTWORX, where I go to the sauna workouts, they have a gym area with all the weights and some of the machines and anything I would need to do like a weight workout. So prioritizing weightlifting is going to be big for me in 2026. Prioritizing protein. I know we're all sick of hearing about that, but for real, like really starting with protein anytime I'm eating. Grilled chicken, cottage cheese, all the things we know, but just making that a focal point of 2026. And then in addition to the strong body, I want to have a strong podcast. I want to be in the top 10 or the top 50 of travel podcasts. Sometimes I hang out in the top 50 to 100. They literally change every single day. It's all over the board. It's like hard to keep up with, but I'd like to consistently see Trip Tales in that top 10 spot where there's just a really strong product that everybody's excited about. On Mondays, there will always be the trip recap or the trip tale of a guest or myself sharing a trip from start to finish. And I think that's what everybody loves the most about the podcast is how'd you get there? Where'd you stay? What did you do? What did you eat? What would you do differently next time? It really helps wrap your brain around a location. And there are so many people that have come on and shared about a destination that I was like, I don't think we're really going to plan a trip to Japan. And then after the episode, I'm like, I could totally plan a trip to Japan. Like it just makes it so much more approachable when you hear someone else explain exactly how they did it. I also want to be strong and brave in how I communicate in this new series, Kelsey Unpacked. I want to share vulnerably. I want to be confident in what I share, how I share it, and what I say, because like I said, I'm an open book and I love other people who are open books. And I think it's better just to flat out share the truth, good, bad, and ugly sometimes. And so that's what I'm going for in 2026. Strong, brave podcast, strong body. And I want to be strong in my decisions for myself and my family. So whatever that means for our family, just being clear in our yeses and our nos and making strong decisions that make sense for me and my family. So that's the 2026 theme, strong. And I have already added it to my notes app. Let me pull that up. In my notes app for this year, I have in bold 2026 strong. And I use the like bicep emoji, you know, the like weightlifting bicep strong emoji. I put dollars, the dollars emoji, and the magic star. I love the magic stars, the 3 stars. I use them all the time in like captions. And when I'm texting people, like, those 3 stars are like probably one of my most used emojis. So 2026 strong. I only have 3 goals this year. Last year I had 5. I only have 3 and they aren't ticked off yet. First was feel very strong in my body, and very is in all caps. Again, my husband would probably want it to be like have a certain percentage of body fat or something or muscle mass. And I'm like, no, I don't even know how to like figure out my muscle mass. And I don't want to stand on one of those DEXA whatever scans. I know if I feel strong in my body and if my muscles feel strong, and that's my goal. Feel very strong in my body. Goal number 2, make 10K from the podcast or travel channel. So we're not even just ticking it up a little bit, we're doubling it. And I'm really going to try to blow that out of the water. And the last goal is to land a dream sponsored or hosted trip. Because a big part of what I do is getting some things hosted. And there definitely is value in that, right? Like it's not monetary money in my bank account, but there's a ton of value in being able to go on a trip that you didn't pay for. So I recognize that. And I would love to land a dream one where I just say, I can't believe that I or my husband and I or my family and I are going on this trip that is completely paid for. That was Ava Resort last year. My sister and I went completely hosted and was able to share all about that resort. I have a full podcast episode about it, and that felt super special and like an awesome achievement. So I'll close this by sharing that I started this podcast about 2 years ago. I've literally just been taking baby steps along the way and learning as I go and having so much fun with all of you that listen in and write me emails and either write an email to say, hey, I loved this episode. Some of you write emails and say, I'd love to be a guest, and you share about a trip that you would like to share about on the podcast. Some of you are even awesome and will say, hey, your Arizona PDF guide is taking people to the New York City guide. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like there are so many little tiny moving parts on the back end of these types of content creation where you're like, whoops, I didn't update that link. So thank you, friends, for always shooting me an email. I'm always all ears at Kelsey@triptalespodcast.com. If you ever want to shoot me an email, it's always in the show notes. In 2025, there were 40,000 downloads of the Trip Tales podcast, which was very exciting. So many sweet, kind reviews that you guys left, which is so helpful when you guys leave a review. That just tells the podcast app that people like this and people are listening and they like it enough to take enough time out of their day to share a review. So I'll leave you with 2 quotes that have really helped me over the last 2 years as I have been building this podcast and focusing on my own word of the year and goals. The first one is great things take time. I love that quote. It is just a really good reminder that nothing amazing and legendary was built overnight. It takes time. It takes real work. It takes lots of hours figuring things out. And I often resort back to great things take time. And the other quote I love by JP Morgan is, go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll be able to see farther. And I feel like that goes with building anything. Sometimes you just don't know. You're trying something new, you don't know. Even like with this weightlifting thing, it's like, I don't know how far I can go with this, but go as far as you can see. What can you see yourself doing right now? And then when you get there, you'll be able to see a little bit farther. So those 2 quotes are bringing me into 2026. If any of you have a word or phrase, I'd love to hear what yours is for 2026. I'll make a post about this in the Trip Tales podcast Facebook community and on Instagram with a question box. And y'all can share if you have a word or phrase for 2026. I'll put the link to the Facebook community in the show notes if you'd like to join us in there. And thank you for tuning in to the very first Kelsey Unpacked episode. So much more to come on Wednesdays. Have a great week, and I will talk to you next Monday or Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Trip Tales. Don't forget to subscribe or follow the show, leave a review, or buy me a coffee. And if you do, you can picture me doing an actual happy dance. Also, if you have a trip you'd like to share about on the podcast, send an email to Kelsey@triptalespodcast.com and we'll get you on the schedule. I'll see you on the next episode of Trip Tales.
Skincare experts and dermatologists have often touted the benefits of indoor humidity as essential for healthy, glowing skin. But did you know dry air can start to harm your skin in as little as 30 minutes? For years, many people have relied on humidifiers for better skin, sleep, and overall wellness. But traditional models, bulky, mold-prone, and difficult to maintain. That's where Canopy Humidifier comes in. Recommended by leading dermatologists, Canopy is a completely reimagined humidifier designed to elevate any space, offering the ultimate in skincare and wellness benefits. Canopy's clean moisture combats dryness, dullness, and fine lines while strengthening the skin's barrier and boosting the effectiveness of topical skincare products. With its sleek design, Canopy is the cleanest and easiest humidifier on the market. With its unique technology, cleaning is as easy as popping it in the dishwasher. Go to getcanopy.co to save $25 on your Canopy humidifier purchase today with Canopy's filter subscription. Even better, use code PODCAST at checkout to save an additional 10% off your Canopy purchase. Your skin will thank you.